And welcome back to I Will Bless the Lord at All Times. I am again your host, Pastor Marcus Howard of my church, Walk of Faith. We are so excited, having a great time doing this telethon today. I have a great man on the couch with me today, Mr. David Jones from Celebrate Recovery. He has a great testimony himself. Thank you so much for joining me on the couch today.
Hey, great to be here.
Man, I tell you, we're just excited about God recovering and restoring his people. Tell us a little bit about your testimony, if you don't mind.
Well, basically, child of the 60s, so coming out of school, I was a good student and such, but my early career, while I was in college, I was a professional photographer, worked in photo labs, and then was a professional musician for a time, and the musician's life can get kind of wild sometimes and led into drugs and such, and which really ultimately took me into a really wayward life that ended up with bank robberies and prison, and that was back in the 80s. So since that time, thankfully, I've managed to turn my life around, having had some slips in between, but God has really blessed me in such a way, and I've been able to use those experiences to His advantage in reaching others.
Wow. You know what, man, that's phenomenal to me, because here's the thing. We've all been through something. You know, we've all had some slips in places, and I believe that you're speaking to somebody right now. I believe that there's somebody right now who is sitting on that couch or in that chair watching right now who is saying, you know what, that makes sense. I heard someone in the spirit just slide up to the edge of their seat as you began talking about the transition that you were making and the things that were going on and ended up in prison, you know, things that we know you're not really happy that you've done, but you know what, as you said, God is turning it around.
Amen. You know, I don't think anybody sets out to lead that kind of life. I don't think anybody says, look, I'm going to do something that leads me to prison. But it's so easy to get into that trap, to get trapped into that lifestyle, and it's very hard to get out without the power of Christ to help us out. But thankfully, there are ways out. And I'm so thankful for what Celebrate Recovery brings to the table, for people to have an opportunity to find their way out of any type of life's hurts or habits or hang-ups.
Right. You know, I know that there's somebody right there that is just listening right now. You yourself or someone you know is going through an addiction or is going through a tough legal time, or something is going on in your life right now. I want you to go ahead, call right now. Call while we're talking. Let us know that you're watching. Let us know that you're listening, because we want a full recovery. We want a full restoration. We believe that God has better for you. Tell us a little bit now, how did Celebrate Recovery kind of help change your viewpoint in the way of life?
Well, that's a great question. You know, I first came to Celebrate Recovery, and I know this sounds terribly self-centered, but I first came to Celebrate Recovery to fix them. But God in His wisdom has really shown me the issues in my own life that have caused me to stumble and continue to cause me to stumble. You know, it took me years to get that way, and it's taking us years to fix those things. It's like an onion, and we peel off those layers to get to the root of what are essentially the difficulties in our lives. And so Celebrate Recovery, we say that Celebrate Recovery is for hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Well, habits everybody is pretty aware of. There are drugs and alcohol, of course, and gambling, pornography, food. But and then hang-ups are like anger issues, low self-esteem, codependency, and then hurts. Who's never been hurt before? Really? We've all been hurt. And so Celebrate Recovery uses those same Christ-centered 12-step approach to work with all those issues. And I can tell you, so many people have found healing through that program. And then it really is a discipleship program.
Yeah.
That when we go through our step study and Celebrate Recovery, it's a discipleship program. And if anybody's listening right now that can identify with those kind of hurts or habits or hang-ups, I encourage you to seek out a Celebrate Recovery, seek out a way back.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I want you all to know something, that Jesus have redeemed our mistakes. You know, here's the thing I want you to know, that, to be honest with you, everything in life has a lesson to it. What you call failure is not necessarily a failure, but it is a lesson. You've learned something. When you didn't get to the goal that you thought you were going towards, you learned something. Maybe you did slip up. Maybe you fell. You know, maybe things didn't go the way you had planned it to. Maybe you did some things that you're not all that happy of, but guess what? Jesus has redeemed all of that, and his blood has covered it in such a way that you don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, I understand. Now, this is what I really like, David. You are a unique man. You have taken Celebrate of Recovery, and you began working with it, and now you do something unique with Celebrate Recovery.
Absolutely. We have what we call Celebrate Recovery Inside, and that takes Celebrate Recovery to prisons and jails. In Oklahoma, we are in 23 prisons and 9 jails currently, in over 350 prisons across the country. And so we take that same healing program to prisoners. And what we've discovered, number one, is that people come out of prison and they become leaders in our Celebrate Recovery. They become just great participating citizens in the community. These testimonies that I heard earlier, what we do just dovetails exactly with every testimony I've heard today, this morning, and it's just great. So Celebrate Recovery Inside takes that program into prisons and jails, and then the icing on the cake is families who have loved ones participating in Celebrate Recovery Inside find out and see the change in their lives.
Oh, come on.
And they come to Celebrate Recovery and find healing for themselves.
Come on.
What a blessing.
What a blessing. You know, that is phenomenal to me. What I like about it so much is that you're getting them recovered, you're getting them blessed, you're getting the covering around them before they get released. And so now when they're released, they're becoming a powerful tool of God that they can use their testimony to affect others. I want you all to know something, that the website for Celebrate Recovery is right there on your screen. It's right there on your screen. Go ahead, log on, find out where the nearest one is to you. They are in a lot of local churches, but they're in some other places as well. So I want you just to find out where the closest one is to you. David, do me a favor. Tell me a little bit about one of maybe the testimonies that from Celebrate Recovery Inside, some of the things you've seen happen. Right.
And so we've seen people who just have had a life of crime completely turn themselves around. And what happens is we have what we call a leadership factory, and we generate leaders within Celebrate Recovery and within Celebrate Recovery Inside. And so people inside in prisons are leading Celebrate Recovery 12-step studies, Christ-centered 12-step studies. And beyond that, Celebrate Recovery has recovery for the whole family. So we have a program for teens and we have a program for children that are the same lessons that we are learning, only in more age-appropriate ways.
Wow, wow, wow. Here's what I want to tell you. All you viewers right now, everyone has, if it's not you, you have family members. Get your family members on this station right now. Give them the phone number. Have them give us a call. Get your friends, get your foes, whoever it is that you know is going through some things. Some of the times, those people that you call your enemies, those people you call your haters, those people who you don't want to deal with quite much, is the reason that they're where that they are is because of the fact they're going through something. Help them get through it. We want to celebrate recovery with you. Get on the phone. Go ahead and give us a call. Give us a call now. Now, tell me, what are you? So you're in the prisons. Celebrate the recovery inside. And so you have people now that you're working with on the inside. They're coming out. Now they're becoming leaders in Celebrate Recovery. Where do we find some of them at? Are they in the churches? Or?
Absolutely. They're in our church.
Wow.
And then secondly, we have a program called Celebrate Recovery Inside Out.
Wow.
So Celebrate Recovery Inside takes one program to many inmates. Celebrate Recovery Inside Out takes one inmate to many programs. So we try to surround them and help them with housing, with furniture, with clothing, with job search. And we surround them with a community so that they have more of a better chance at success in life.
Wow, there go that word again. Community.
Absolutely.
Community. It is good to be around a community of believers.
Amen
You
to
know,
that.
because one thing that I found out, you can be going through something. And again, we must let people know that that is the key word. We're going through it. We haven't stopped in it. We're not pausing in it. We're going through it. Just because you go through something doesn't mean it's your final destination. But there is another destination for you. And it is good to be a part of a community that can help you, because quiet as it's kept, we all have those times where we get weak. We all have those times where we find ourselves in a situation where we just can't see how we're going to get through it. And if you are alone, it makes it difficult to encourage and motivate yourself to move. But when you are a part of a community such as this community with TBN's local station or with Celebrate Recovery, then it makes it a whole lot easier. If you're with a community, a local church, it makes it easier. We want you to just go ahead, become a part of our community.